Hello everybody, welcome to Wind Down Weekend again. That was weird. Anyway, so yeah. First off, sorry this is super late again. That kind of ties into my update that I'm about to give, which is basically, well, now I am finally done with the play that I was in, so it will no longer be taking up near as much time as it used to. So like I'm gonna have a decent amount of free time compared to what I had previously. So hopefully I will be able to do this earlier and I'll be able to actually work on things more frequently. So hopefully that will work out. In terms of top 10, I can't talk today. In terms of top 12 games I played in 2016, I have not worked on my entry. I actually have not checked with Triforce about the last entry that he was editing in a while, so I should do that probably. But yeah, so not really, there hasn't really been progress made since last week, so yeah. But now I have a bit more free time, and like Wednesday or Thursday I go on to Easter break, and I don't know if I'm going home or not, but if I don't, I will be able to be here without like classes or anything or work or anything like that, so I can just like, if I stay here, I can primarily focus on editing and Persona 5, which transitions nicely into my little story time thing, which is, as I said previously, it's either story time or something I'm hyped for / excited about, etc. And I don't have an actual really story time, so it's going to be something I'm excited about, which is Persona 5. I have been playing it. I want to say my save time is at 25 hours, and holy cow, I love it. It is so good. The only issue that I've been having is in this like previous palace, which is what they call the dungeons for people who do not know Persona 5 yet. So in the dungeon I'm going through, I got to a floor and I got to a safe. There was a safe room right at the beginning, and for those who don't know, safe rooms are basically the only places in dungeons that you are able to save. And if you die, you will then get sent back to the previous safe room. So I got the safe room, went through the floor, got like all the way through it, and then ended up dying. And then re-went through the floor, ended up dying again. Re-went through the floor, and just kept on doing that, and dying, and dying, and dying, and dying, and dying, and dying, and dying. And then eventually, I finally decided, you know what? I probably should not be this stupid. I'm just gonna do this in parts. I'm gonna finish this section of the floor, go back and save at the safe room, do the next portion, go back, save, do the next portion, go back, save, do the next portion, I'm done with the floor. So yeah, it was not the brightest idea to just do the entire floor in one go, because I kept getting critted and weaknesses taken advantage of me. I don't know if that made sense. I'm not good with English today, apparently. But yeah, so I just had a lot of bad luck, and it sucked. So yeah, that was not fun. But overall, the game is so much fun. I can't tell if it's better than Persona 4 or 3. I need to finish the game first, and then I can make that judgment. But so far, it's like keeping pace with them at least. So going on to questions, I guess. This is going to be a bit of a shorter one, which is probably good because I don't have much time to upload it. So I got some questions, none of which are actually on the comments. So yeah, I had to ask people again because nobody left comments on the video. So yeah, reminder, if you have any questions for me to answer during the next week's episode, leave them down below. So the first one is from my sister, Allison. What are my favorite shows that ended too soon, or like either like it was canceled like before it had a chance to finish, or it finished the first season and didn't get another one, or hasn't got another one. Whatever, technicalities. So I have like 3. First is Log Horizon. That got 2 seasons and was setting up a lot of big, important, like, reveals in the next season. But we still don't have a 3rd season. And it really pains me because I really like that show. And it's just like, why do you do this to me? Next one is No Game No Life. For pretty much the same reason. Like, they established everything. They're starting to get ahead and all that stuff, and we still don't have a 2nd season. And it's been what? I don't even know when that came out. Like 4 years, 5? Okay, actually no. I'm gonna just look that up right now. Actually, I should probably type the name correctly. No Game No Life. When did that come out? The anime, anyway. The anime came out in 2014. Jeez. That's weird. I watched that, like, I want to say when it was coming out. If not when it came out shortly after. But yeah, it's been like 3 years and we still don't have a 2nd season. And it's such a good show. And I want it. And a lot of people want it as well. The 3rd one, this was kind of one I was just like, yeah, I remember this show fondly. People talk about it all the time. Symbiotic Titan. I don't remember it all that well, but I do remember it, like, didn't really end properly, I believe. If I'm wrong about that, that's my fault, because I haven't watched it in forever, so I don't really know. But I remember, like, people saying, like, Sub-Zero talking about how it doesn't actually have, like, a proper end, you know, like there was more to be done with it that could have been done with it, because like it was canceled because of not being able to strike a toy deal or whatever. I don't know technical terms, but yeah, so it was canceled because it couldn't get toys, and it's just like, why you do this? So it sucks, and it was just like, this was a good show. And actually, when I was thinking about this question and I thought about it, I was like, I really need to rewatch this. I really do. So now I need to figure out where I can rewatch it. So yeah, this is annoying now, because now I really want to rewatch it. And I actually, now that I think about it, I want to rewatch No Game No Life and Log Horizon. And rewatching No Game No Life is kind of something that I probably should not do because I've already watched it twice. Anyway, I've rambled on enough about this one question. So now I have 3 questions from Pyro, because thank you. So the first question, dogs or cats? Dogs, no questions about that. I'm just much prefer dogs. Cats are not necessarily bad, I just prefer dogs. I mean cats are cool too though, especially talking cats like this one. Yes, I got the special edition. Morgana has just been sitting there since I got Persona 5. He's just like, hello. Anyway, I'm just, my brain's not working today. I don't know why. Anyway, next question. What do you use to edit? The editing program that I personally use is Magic's Movie Edit Pro 2016 Plus. It is very simple, and you can't really do fancy stuff like you do in Vegas or Adobe or anything like that, but it is a lot cheaper. Sorry, I had supper about an hour ago, and I'm apparently still fighting that, fighting down burps and such. I don't even know what's happening in this video right now. Anyway, it's a lot simpler than like Vegas and such, but it's a lot cheaper. It's like, I want to say you can probably get it for like $100, 80 or 60 even if you find it on a sale. So it's much cheaper, and you can do you can do somewhat fancy things. Like, it's way preferred to like the super basic ones like Windows Movie Maker and such, and so much better than iMovie. First couple videos I did on this channel were in iMovie, and don't do that. Don't use iMovie. Please don't. Anyway, third question. Do I have another commentary planned? And sadly, no. My main issue with this is the fact that I am terrible at finding material. Completely terrible. Absolutely completely terrible. The one time that I found commentary material in like the past like month or two, actually like since the last com I did, which let's never speak of that again. So within this like half a year or so, I found like one video that I was like working on a solo commentary script for, and the only reason why I found it is because somebody linked it in a chat, and then I wrote the script. About 10 minutes after, the person that linked it linked a live stream where they were talking to the creator of that video about all the issues they had with it, which covered basically all of my points. So it's just like, there's literally no reason for this video. Delete. So at the very least, I'm glad that I didn't like start on the editing. It was like I finished the script and was linking it to a few people. So yeah. But yeah, that's the only, I've only found one video that I wanted to do a commentary on, and it died. So yeah, I'm just terrible at finding material. So yeah, that's the reason why I have not had any commentaries out for a long time, and do not have any planned. Again, with the not having words. Anyway, final question of the day is from Sub07. So thank you, Sub. So his question was, if you could have a sequel to any game, what would it be and why? I came up with a couple answers, and like it's weird because like some of the like more obvious choices, at least in terms of my mind, I can't really say because they either A, got sequels really recently, or B, already have sequels on the way. So I had to kind of think a little bit where I don't normally think. So first one is kind of like a maybe Radiant Historia. I love this game. I don't think I need to even say that. And yes, there is the remake on the way, but I would just love like an actual like legit sequel to it. Especially because like the remake is the exact same game but with like an extra story to it, like so kind of like what I think Devil Survivor 2 did. Like it had the main story and then it had another part afterwards or something. I don't know. I haven't actually played Devil Survivor 2, so I probably shouldn't even be talking about that. But yeah, so it's got bonus material, but it's mostly just the same rating Historia game we've had. So having a sequel would be wonderful. Saints Row 5, could we please have that? I know we have Agents of Mayhem coming, but Saints Row 5, please. Like, I love Saints Row for the characters and the gameplay and everything, and not having the characters of Saints Row is gonna suck. And I've been waiting for Saints Row 5 for forever. That's a hyperbole, by the way. So can we have it, please? Speaking of 5s, though, can we get Sly Cooper 5, please? We kind of left on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Little is an exaggeration, because if you know how Saints Row Sly 4 ended, you would know that's a pretty big cliffhanger and tease and such. So it'd be very much appreciated if we could get a Sly Cooper 5. So please and thank you. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it would be wonderful. And one last one. This is actually kind of a weird one. I don't necessarily want a sequel in terms of plot, but I would love a sequel in terms of mechanics for this next one. Lost Dimension. So basically, for those who do not know Lost Dimension, which I actually would be surprised if you do know it, because it's kind of obscure. Basically, the mechanic is you and your party are exploring this tower, and as you go through the story, you actually have to figure out who is the traitor within your group, and then you have to execute them. So that means it's basically reverse of most of the pretty much any RPG you could think of. Instead of having 1 or 2 people, maybe 3 at the beginning, and then adding more people as you go along, you start with 9 people. I actually forget how many people there are in total. But yeah, you start with a bunch of people, and then you slowly but surely start killing them off. And then it's actually cool because you don't actually lose the abilities. You can just give them to other characters, but it's a really cool mechanic and such. So I would love to see another game with that mechanic. I just don't know if it would really work in terms of a plot sequel. So yeah, maybe a spiritual successor or something would be more appropriate. I don't know. I don't know games. Well, I don't know sequels. I don't know words either, if that's anything that this has shown. Anyway, this has been a very odd wind down weekend. Hopefully it will no longer be late Sunday evening videos. I hopefully should be able to do it. I'm just gonna say this now before I do the question for you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have one of these out next week, because as I mentioned previously, I don't know if I am going home or not for Easter break. So if I go home, I will not be at I won't have my setup because it's only a week. So there's no real reason for me to pack up everything and bring it home with me so I can do videos, because it's just an inconvenience and too time consuming for just a week. So yeah. So if I go home, there will not be one of these. If I stay here, there will be one of these. Anyway. Sorry, that was a little bit of a burp. I don't think you heard it, but I felt it. I don't even know what's going on. Question for you guys is actually going to be Sub's question, because I didn't really think of one, but yeah. So I'm just going to ask you the same question that Sub asked. If you could have a sequel to any game, what would it be and why? Because I think that's a pretty good topic. Like, that can open up some discussions. I'm interested to hear what you guys want. Maybe you will give me some ideas too, because like sometimes I play games and I'm just like, this is a really good game, and then like I don't think about the fact of like, oh yeah, they could have a sequel for that game and it would be amazing. Especially now, because like I just kind of came up with ideas in like 10 seconds. I haven't really thought about it in depth. So yeah. Also, I'm noticing now we actually went about the same length, so I don't even know anymore. So I'm just gonna say thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! Okay.
Oh, God damn it! Ah, what the hell?
I love it! Just every line makes me like, oh, I'm so glad this has voice acting.
Fell pretty far. That really hurt.
Yes, it did.
Damn.
I would like to point out that I've played this game